So it's fair to say there's quite a bit of pressure on Yuki Tsunoda right now. The Japanese driver had a better weekend at the Belgian Grand Prix this weekend just gone, but ultimately 0 points to his name. He looked better in qualifying, and during the race he got unlucky when it came to the tyre change onto dry tyres. It basically just didn't fall for him. It can happen to anybody, but his pace did look better. But although that is the case, he is still under massive pressure right now from the Red Bull Racing organisation. There are heavy rumours that Isaac Hadjar is going to replace him next year in the car, which I don't think is really going to solve Red Bull's problems. Red Bull's problems really are the fact that their car is just undrivable for anybody who's not named Max Verstappen or Franz Herrmann. That's just a fact. You know, you put him back into the RB, the Racing Bulls, he'll do well. You know, we saw Lawson do really well at Racing Bulls last year, or RB as they were then known. And even now, Lawson is starting to get his act back together, you know. He's kind of recovered mentally from the disappointment at the start of the season where he had those 2 horrible races for Red Bull. But Tsunoda has come out swinging. He's not taking this lying down. He is defending his position at Red Bull Racing. And this also comes as well as Max Verstappen has now confirmed that he's going to be driving for the team next year. He said it unequivocally. So all those rumours of him going to Mercedes, I think they're pretty much gone by the wayside, which I thought were pretty doubtful anyway, to be honest with you. But it looks as though it's going to be Verstappen in the Red Bull Racing car next year. But who is it going to be alongside him? Is it going to be Tsunoda, Hadjar, somebody else? Let's have a look, guys, because Tsunoda does not yet have a deal for 2026, but could that change soon? Let's have a look. With Max Verstappen effectively locked in at Red Bull for 2026, focus is turning to who will be his next teammate. Yuki Tsunoda, promoted from Racing Bulls this year following Liam Lawson's early struggles alongside Max Verstappen, says results have not been ideal. That is a masterpiece of understatement, but says internal progress is clear. Without the points, it's not ideal, but what definitely helps is that the engineers and garage on my side know that the progress is clear and the pace is clear, he said in Budapest. He dismissed comparisons with Verstappen. He squeezes out performance every round, said Tsunoda. I don't want to compare myself directly to it. Well, you mean you can't. You can't compare yourself to him, and you shouldn't really want to, because it's it makes for pretty grim reading, to be honest with you, for Tsunoda. But like I said, it's not just him. The car as well is a problem. Because he's been driving this car for 9 years and I've only just got into it. Fair point. Tsunoda also claimed he hasn't had the same car for most of this season, including now. Let's wait until I get the same car. Until then, we can't be directly compared, he said. Now, before the conspiracy theorists get going on this one, I think he's basically referring to the fact that Verstappen usually gets upgrades before Tsunoda, so he effectively gets a better car every single weekend. We're talking marginal gains here, and that does not, of course, account for the difference between the two of them. It's not a second and a half a lap difference in terms of upgrades. It's probably a tenth or two, if that. It's not uncommon for teams to favour one driver over the other when it comes to upgrades. We've seen Piastri not have upgrades and Norris have upgrades at different points of the season because basically Piastri didn't want the upgrades but Norris did. It happens all the time. Remember the rant from Mark Webber? Not bad for a number 2 driver. That was all over the front wing that he didn't get but Sebastian Vettel did get. Anyway, however, Tsunoda praised the surprise upgrade his car received at Spa. I had positive impressions in qualifying and afterwards about the improved floor. The race didn't go to plan, but the pace gave me confidence. If Tsunoda is replaced, Racing Bull's rookie Isaac Hadjar is the likely candidate to do so. The Frenchman has impressed Red Bull and credited advisor Dr. Helmut Marko for keeping faith. Didn't really have much faith in him after the first race, but I guess that's been restored now. Hadjar said the following before the weekend in Budapest. My season in Formula 2 with high-tech was terrible. At the time, I thought I'd never make it to F1, but Helmut supported me and gave me a second chance. Though self-critical, Hadjar says that he's learning to balance feedback. A lot of people around me have told me to be a little bit more positive because mechanics and engineers also need the optimism of the driver. That's true, to be fair. I mean, these kind of things do kind of feed around. They do kind of impact each other. You know, if the driver is not very happy about things, the engineers, the mechanics will not particularly be either. That does kind of help. But yeah, positive mental attitude, PMAs as they like to call it. But yeah, Tsunoda, will he be in the Red Bull Racing car next year? For me, honestly, it's up in the air. Should he be? Absolutely. I don't think that changing drivers, particularly going through a regulation change like this, is going to help things. I think anybody's going to struggle in that car. Next year could be completely different. There could be a much more drivable Red Bull that they know how to upgrade, because it's all to do with Pierre Vacher. You know, he's now upgrading and working on a car that he didn't make. It's Adrian Newey's car that he's just trying to improve slowly, and he's not doing a particularly great job of it. They might have just basically got themselves into a developmental wedge, for lack of a better term. But yeah, get your thoughts in the comments below on this, guys. As always, should Red Bull change their driver lineup for next year? Should it be Hadjar? Should it be Tsunoda? Should it be somebody else? I want to hear what you have to say either way on this one. Like, share, comment, subscribe, as always, and have a fantastic day. You're in the world today, guys. See you very soon.